Okay, so we are leaving the doctor's office. We had a regularly scheduled doctor's appointment for this treatment with the trial medicine. They'll, I get the medicine, he said every 21 days to me, but it's not right? It's like every 2 weeks. Every 14 days, I think. But anyway, whatever. What I had to do for this week was just, was supposed to be just go in for my blood work and vitals and just see how my body's processing the medication, how it's going through my body. So,
and then meet with the research doctor.
And then meet with the research doctor and just go over my stuff and see if anything has changed, if I've had any, things that I think might be side effects or reactions to the medication. So anything that's abnormal for me going on. And something that I'd mentioned in one of my other videos, maybe my last one or the one before that, was I've been having issue again with my pulse going low. And when it goes low, blood won't come out. Today my pulse was in the 60s. They had to stick me 2 times in one arm and 1 time in the other arm to try to get blood to come out, and blood was not coming out. It comes out at a drip. My pulse is really low, so my heart is not beating, and it's not beating hard enough to push blood out to be able to draw blood, and it's not beating hard enough to return the blood from my legs. So my legs are swollen, and I just kind of need to have I also get very lethargic and very sleepy when my pulse is low like this. So I have a lot of issues around my pulse being low, and I need to have a better handle on it. In the meantime, this week, my watch, I take about, the pain, when the pain's high, I take 4 showers a day, maybe more, maybe less on a really good day. But anyway, I take a lot of showers, and water got in my watch. I have a pretty nice, fancy automatic watch, and I really like it, and water got in it, and I'm pretty sad about that. And regular watch, you might be able to pop the case off and let it dry out, but you can't do that with mine. So I wanted another watch, and then in light of this stuff going on with my pulse, the new Apple Watches have their
health stuff.
In the health stuff, they can do
ECG,
your pulse oxygen and your ECG, some just neat things that would be for me to have while this is going on in our life. And we haven't liked the Apple Watches before. We really like watches ugly as jewelry. Yeah. And so we don't think that they're attractive looking. They are a symbol. They're like a status symbol, right? But they're not, they're just not pretty. Anyway, so this is a whole, our watch thing. So we're finally maybe it's time.
You need to log all of your pulse and all of this stuff.
Right.
And you need to be able to track it.
Yeah, and I need to know when I need to be it's really low, and I need to be up, moving around and walking and stuff like that. I need to go on a 30-minute.
It tracks your sleep and all of that other stuff.
Yeah, just a lot of things that would be really helpful. It's got a lot of health things that are just really helpful right now. So we're going to go into our phone store where we have our phone plans through, and go get one of these watches. So we go into the phone store, I also have an astigmatism, which really affects not just like how light hits my eyes, but I really have an issue with it with certain color of lights hitting my eyes. Like blue lights are a complete blur. Red and green lights on gasoline signs for like diesel and regular gas, the red is a different size from the green. And till I got glasses, I thought they actually were like different size signs, and I didn't know until I got glasses. I'm like, whoa, those are actually the same size. I had no idea. So we go into this phone store, and it has neon lights in it. And as I'm standing like at the counter, I realized I was trying to read the stuff on the wall, and it was a complete blur. And I was like, oh, it must be the lights like messing with my eyes. I took my glasses off, and it was still a complete blur. And I was like, that's weird. So I put my glasses back on. They didn't have the watch, and we left, and we get in the car, and I look at my phone. I'm like looking at my phone, and I am seeing actual double vision, like very clearly double vision. Sorry, the way I'm sitting is like hurting. I'm trying to get us both like in the picture. And so I'm supposed to call the doctor if I have anything like weird side effects. So I called the doctor and I was like, hey, I have double vision right now. It just popped up out of nowhere. I don't know if it's because I saw these weird like colored lights, but yeah, I have double vision. So the research nurse is like, let me talk to the doctor. She's in with a patient. I'm going to call you back. And it's like about an hour and a half goes by before she gets the opportunity to call me back.
Which is how long the double vision lasted.
And the double vision stopped right before she called back. So the double vision stops. And I'm sorry, I can't get comfortable. Oh my goodness. Okay. The double vision stops. And so she calls back and she says that they scheduled me for an MRI to make sure nothing's going on in the brain. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like on the phone, I was like, it didn't process yet. I was like, yeah, okay, great. Okay, so I have to come in the morning and get an MRI before I do my blood work and see the doctor. Okay, and then I hang up the phone and I tell Callie, and he has the same reaction. He's like, yeah, okay, fine, I'm gonna do an MRI. And we're both like, and then we like all of a sudden realize like, oh man, they mean like if like the cancer moved to my brain, which we know like the cancer moving to my organs is a very, very like likely possibility of what's going to happen, and or what they predict is going to happen, and what this cancer typically does. It doesn't have the final say. God does. We fully believe that. And we were just like, it immediately threw us into just like a tailspin. We know people, his mother recently passed with that exact same thing happening to her. I've lost a family member that's had that exact same thing happen, and then it just really like just crushed our spirits. We were just like, that's so sudden. Like we just didn't realize, like you start thinking all these things and we're like, wow, that like when it moves to the brain, just like statistically, I mean, you're gonna have like a week or 2 weeks to live with it in the brain. Like, I mean, you don't usually live much beyond that. And we're like, or I guess in the cases that we've like known, I mean, I guess somebody could, but that's not, just hasn't been my experience. And like, wow, this is possibly like really bad. And it just really shook us up. Like it, you know, you have these things come up, and like your life like flashes before your eyes, and when it comes up and it's just all of a sudden like that, and I was like, I didn't even feel that sick. Like I was like so shocked, like, could this happen? Could I have it in my brain and like I don't even feel sick? I knew at some point in the future like it can spread, but I'm assuming like I'm gonna feel a lot worse. And you know, it's not going to be like just total off guard, like a surprise. And so, you know, we just like almost everybody, I'm sure probably that is watching this video is someone that we asked to pray and like already knows about this. And so last night we were really shook up. I mean, it was very emotional. It was really hard. It was very painful. Like, it's very scary. It's very sad. Like, you're thinking of like all the things that, you know, we already know we're like kind of living on this timeline, and we have just things we want to do and things we want to still experience together and things we want to do with our grandbabies and, you know, just a lot of things. Like, it just brings a lot of things to your mind. And so we had a little time of being really sad. It cleared up before we went to bed last night, and we went to bed like really okay. And we're so blessed to have people that will like drop what they're doing and immediately call us and just pray for us and be like, do you have a minute to talk? And like, no, I don't have a minute because I'm falling apart right now, but let's like do a quick prayer and then just hang up, and it's okay. And so we just have so many people praying for us, and we really do believe that we see God doing miracles in these things. And so we go to bed and we wake up this morning, and this morning everything's pretty good. Like, we're good. We're back to happy spirits. We're not, you know, we're not downcast. We're not despairing of life. We're not without hope. We've like really learned in these things, and we've been talking today, like since the doctor, how awesome it is that we're going through this and that we get to, like, we're being trained every time there's one of these events. They're terrifying, and we don't like the event necessarily. It's not like what we would pick to do, but we're learning in every one of these to like faster and faster, like hand it to the Lord. Like, it was that, you know, initially the crying was like a week, then it like starts going down and going down. Like, you get a hold of the emotions more quickly, and it's a training of learning how to give these things to Jesus. Like, he says that we're to cast our burdens on him, and he really will help us. And so we're getting to experience that. We're getting to experience that he really will help us. He comes and he meets us in it, and he really will take on our burdens. We have to, it's against our nature. We have to learn how to give it to him. We might even, you know, like, I mean, when we're a very brand new Christian, we might not know how to hand something that's hurting over to the Lord. So it's really him training us in this and learning how to do it and how to walk with him. So we did the MRI, and that was a pretty cool experience. I had another
cage on your face.
Yeah, I had another, I didn't know they put a cage on your face. I didn't know that till halfway through the MRI when they took me out to do the contrast. And when they pulled me out of the MRI, I opened my eyes and I was like, oh, my face is in a cage. Wow, that's really scary. I didn't know. And so anyway, but I had, again, right before when I walked in the room, sat on the machine, the guy's like, okay, we're ready to go. He gave me earplugs to put in my ears, and I was like, I'm really scared. And he was like, okay, we can reschedule it and get you medication. And I was like, the thought of like being medicated in it scared me even more. Like, honestly, I don't want to be like, that is more scary to me. I'd rather be like wide awake, and I don't really like not being in control of my senses. That kind of freaks me out. So I'm on enough medication, and anyway, so he laid me down, saw that my makeup was sparkly, and he's like, oh, we got to get that off. And he goes to find wet wipes to clean it with, and in that time I had time to like pray and like connect with the Lord and just like really press into him, and learning how to do that too, to be like, this is the time I need to draw close to you, Lord, and I need to do it. Like, I need to focus myself on you only and forget about this machine and all of these like entrapments and stuff, and just like, so I just talked to the Lord. He came back in, we got started. I laid down, I just started praying for everybody. Just started praying through, go through like my husband, my children, grandchildren, just start praying, praying it out, praying the circle out. And so got the MRI done. That went really well. And then I'd been reading, we were looking it up last night, and I'd been reading because I'd asked my doctor, the nurse, when she called back yesterday and let me know I needed to do the MRI, about, I was on gabapentin, and it was helping somewhat with the pain, and if that had something to do with, me seeing double vision, she didn't think so. And I was like, well, right on the bottle it says blurred vision. It doesn't say double vision, but it says blurred vision. And so anyway, I got online, of course, last night, and I was looking, like, a lot of people actually said they actually had like double vision and blurred vision, but a really high number of people. So I still feel like it was that, and they went ahead and they took me off the gabapentin today, and they said since I wasn't on a very high dose, and I haven't had it since yesterday morning, and I'm doing well off of it, I'm not having any side effects from taking it down. So she was like, it's fine to go ahead and we'll just discontinue it. She still didn't really think that it was the gabapentin, but nonetheless, they went ahead and took me off of it, and got the MRI results back and my blood work back, and the MRI was great. She said it was not just good, but really good. Very, very good. And they did an MRI of my whole body, so it was very good. So that's really encouraging. It's another, again, cancer is definitely not found anywhere else, so that's really hopeful to me. And it's really hopeful to me that it's just this, it's this part of this tumor left, and I am really praying that this is like going to be a testimony of the tumor being completely removed. Like, this is just going to be a document that we had that proved at this time I have this tumor, and then we're going to have another document in the future that's going to prove that God completely took this tumor away. And so I'm excited about that. I can't wait for that to happen, and I hope that that's the next batch of tests. But if not, I still believe it's in our future. So and I know that when it does happen, it's not going to be because of any of the works or wisdom of anything that God hasn't given. So I'm so thankful for the doctors and the medical testing and care that I can have, that God has allowed all of these things to come to pass and given us such great minds that are able to work on these things that can heal us and just do miraculous things. So it was really a great day. It was really a rough night yesterday. It was really a great day today. So don't lose hope. Whatever you're going through, if you don't know the end of the situation, which we never do, you have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. You could have a wonderful outcome. So you never know.
Never know, Grandma.
Never know, Grandma. That's what one of our babies says all the time. You never know.